There you go. Okay. Good morning, class. I hope you're doing well today. This will be the first day in our course, in our medical specialized course. I will give you a small introduction on what this course is, the stages into which it will be divided, and a little bit more of information. First of all, this would be a hybrid course, meaning that we will have half of our classes online, like this one today, and the other half of our classes, like one-to-one, in-person classes. Okay. Now, as I was mentioned, this course is targeted to a group of medical graduates, as you guys are, who are in a English level at around A1 and A2. You are currently general doctors because you graduated medical school, not specialized yet. You are medical doctors with a basic level of English, and our primary focus that we will have during this whole course would be to, first of all, prepare yourselves to be able to give a consultation and an appointment with your patients, all right? So consultations and appointments with your students, with your patients, sorry, is very important for this course. You will be able to ask questions to fill out a medical record or medical history for your patients, as well as you are going to learn some other medical terminology regarding the human body, right? So anatomy, the body organs, the body systems, the bones, and stuff like that. So you will also be able to give a diagnosis. We will learn as well about illnesses and diagnosis. So you will be able to create a medical record, a medical history, to give a diagnosis, to talk to a patient. And at the end of this course, the purpose or the objective is for you to be able to do all of these things with your patients. So if you encounter an as patient who speaks only English, you will be able to communicate with them and get a successful appointment. Now, this course will be divided into two stages. I will give you just a brief summary of what we will do in each one of those stages. So during stage number one, it will be mostly medical terminology. Like today, we will learn like a little bit of an introduction on anatomy, human parts, the most important organs and systems, but just a brief introduction, as well as health problems and their symptoms. This is for you to be able to give a diagnosis to your patient, right? And then for during unit number 3, you are going to be able to give your patient indications, to give them what medication are they going to take once they leave your appointment and everything like that. And at the end of stage number 1, you will be able to give prescriptions, medical prescriptions, and the use of numbers in those prescriptions. So that is everything that we will do during stage number 1. When it comes to stage number 2, you are going to, it's all based on applied terminology. So all the terminology and vocabulary that you have learned, you're going to apply it with your patient. During unit number 1, you're going to be able to talk with your patient about what ails your patient, what makes your patient feel sick or feel ill. Then during unit number 2, you will be able to accompany your patient into feeling better and feeling well. And during unit number 3, you're going to give prescriptions now. So names of medication, numbers of medication, and everything along those lines. So that is what we will be doing during this whole course. And you already know what the purpose is. The purpose is that you become a doctor who is able to attend not only Spanish speaking patients, but also English speaking patients. Okay. Now, first of all, before we start with the topic, I would like for you guys to introduce yourselves. My name is teacher Marina. Can you guys tell me your names, please? You can speak in Spanish. Don't worry about it, because we are in a beginner level.
Ok, ¿puedo empezar yo?
Yes, of course.
Ok, hola, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ángela. Llevo Me gradué hace un año, perdón, de medicina y llevo ejerciendo medio año.
Okay, excellent.
Buenas tardes, yo soy Alejandra y también me gradué hace un año. Yo todavía estoy empezando lo de la especialización y pues todavía no trato como tal con los pacientes.
Okay, very good. Amazing. So both of you guys are already general doctors. You're looking for specialization, specialty. So whatever we see in this course will help you only for your title as a general doctor, right? You will eventually maybe need to take another course for your specialization. So now we're gonna focus only on being a general doctor, treating with patients. So Alejandra, for you, once you start working with patients and attending your patients, all of this will be very helpful for you. Okay, so are you ready to start with the first part of the lesson? We'll do a little warm up on just the general organs and parts of the human body, both the male human body and the female human body. Ready? I'll share the screen with you. Just tell me, please, if you are able to see it. Okay, guys, can you see the screen now?
Sí, ya se ve.
Okay, very good. So this is just vocabulary on the most vital organs of the human body. We have two different images. We have the female anatomy and then we have the male anatomy. There is pretty much no difference really between female anatomy and male anatomy when it comes to organs. So internal organs and stuff like that, it's all going to be the same. Pretty much the reproductive system is the only thing that changes in terms of organs. There are a few other things that change, but they are more external, not so much internal. So I will read all of this to you and I will explain it. And then you guys will have to repeat it with me, but wait until I tell you. You will have to repeat it with me so we can practice with your pronunciation and see how you're doing at pronouncing these words. So first of all, about the female anatomy, this is organs. We have heart. Pay a lot of attention to my pronunciation so you can do it later with me. So we have the heart and we have the pointing out over here to where it is. We have the heart, we have our lungs, our liver, kidneys, the skin, we have the stomach, the spleen, the intestines, the bladder, and the genitals. So all of these parts of the body, guys, you already know what they mean or what they are in Spanish. Maybe not exactly what they mean right now that you're looking at them for the first time, but I will tell you what they mean, each one of them. So we know that the heart is el corazón, right? You already know all of these organs in Spanish. Heart, corazón, lungs are los pulmones, liver is el hígado. When we're talking about kidneys, is los riñones, skin, la piel, which is the biggest organ of the body, stomach, el estómago, the spleen is el vaso. Then you have your intestines, which are your intestinos, your bladder, which is la vejiga, and then the genitals, which is the reproductive system or genitales, right? Those are the part that mostly differs between female anatomy and male anatomy. Here we have a bit of extra information about female anatomy and how it is different to male anatomy, but this is more of like an external part. Women have more fat mass than men, and different from men, women usually accumulate adipose tissue around the hips and the thighs. So adipose tissue, guys, tejido adiposo. You already know that. Now, let's talk a little bit about male anatomy. You can observe that it has the exact same parts: heart, corazón, lungs, pulmones, liver, hígado, kidney, riñones, skin, piel, stomach, estómago, spleen, vaso, intestines, intestinos, bladder, vejiga, and genitals, genitales, okay? And the male anatomy, different to the female anatomy on an external level, is based on the body composition, which differs in both male and female. Men usually have more lean mass, and men are more likely to accumulate adipose tissue around the trunk and the abdomen, different to women, which was around the stomach and the thighs. Okay, so this is the introduction of the vocabulary. Now, I want you guys to pronunciate these words with me so I can check your pronunciation, okay? I want to hear you out mentioning all of these organs to me so I can see if you really understood how we say these words and what they mean, okay? Could you tell them first, Angela, like all of the words? And if you remember the meaning, please tell me the meaning as well. Entonces, me dices la palabra para escuchar cómo la pronuncias y si recuerdas el significado, pues también, ¿ok?
Ok, tenemos la primera es heart, que es corazón, lungs, em, y la siguiente es liver.
Ok.
Tenemos kidneys, que son los riñones. La skin, es la piel. El stomach, que es el estómago. Spleen, intestines,
Okay.
Bladder y
All right.
genitals.
Okay, very good. So your pronunciation was good for all of them. Thank you so much, Angela. Remember, the liver is hígado and what? The spleen, vaso. Okay? Very good. Can you do the same for me now, Alejandra, please?
Ok. Heart es corazón. Lungs, pulmones. Liver, creo que era hígado.
Correct.
Kidneys, skin, piel. Estómago, spleen, intestines, bladder y genitals.
Okay, very good. Thank you guys so much. So these are the most important, I would say, parts of the human body when we're talking about like the inside. We only have skin, which is from the external part of the human body, but it's also an organ. So all of the ones that we have here are organs. Remember, the skin is the biggest organ of the body. So that, you guys, was an introduction of what we're going to kind of see today, the most important organs of the human body. Before we continue along with the main presentation of today, which is where we're going to learn a little bit more about each one of these organs and each one of these systems of the body. Do you have any questions about this? Okay, good. So let me share my screen. This is the book that we will be using throughout this course. Let me just find it. Give me a second. Here it is. I will share the screen with you. Just give me 1 minute. There. Here it is. Okay, guys, can you see the screen? Very good. Okay, so this, you guys, is the book that we will be using throughout all of this course, okay? I will provide this book to you and we will be using it all together. This is medical terminology language for healthcare, okay? We can see over here that it contains many chapters which are going to be very useful for us. So here we have terminology, prefixes and suffixes in medical terms, body structure, and then system by system, a little bit more information about each system. But this will come in the near future, all right? Today we're gonna see and we're gonna focus on chapter number 3, which is over here, chapter number 3. Because it just has like a very brief and general description of all of the body structure, all of the body systems, and a little bit about the organs that we have just learned during our warm-up session. Okay, so I will put page, I think it was 72, where we will start with the body structure. So after we study this chapter, you guys, you are supposed to be able to define the elements of the human body structure, which is sort of like we just did with the warm-up, you're going to describe the planes of the body, be able to describe the planes of the body, locate the body cavities, list of organs, and recognize combining forms that relate to elements and systems of the body. So this will happen when we finish all of this body structure topic. Today, let's just give like an introduction. So we have the body structure and its organization. Body structure, first of all, divides into cells. We also have tissues. We have many different cell types. And then we get into organs, which is today's topic mostly. Organs are groups of tissues that work together to perform a specific function. And then some examples of it are what we just saw. Like, for example, kidneys, which maintain water and salt balance in the blood. Okay, so ya lo vimos. ¿Qué quiere decir? Riñones, okay? Stomach, estómago, we just seen that too, lo acabamos de ver. And it breaks down food into substances that the circulatory system can transport throughout the body as nourishment for itself. So those are organs. And then we have systems. I will just explain some of the systems to you. Okay, these systems include, some of them include organs, some of them include bones, but pretty much a system is a group of organs that work together to perform one of the body's major functions. The terminology for each body system is provided in separate chapters, okay? So that is why it will take the whole course to get to know the whole human body. So in every class, we will focus on a different body system. I will just give an introduction of each. We have the integumentary system, which consists of the skin and the accessory structures derived from it, which are like your hair, your nails, the sweat glands, and your oil glands, which are all stuff that you maybe already know in Spanish. El cabello, las uñas, las glándulas para el sudor, sudoríparas, y las glándulas que producen el aceite, or sebum, right? Then we have the musculoskeletal system, which supports the body. It protects organs and provides body movement. Incluye también partes del cuerpo y vocabulario que ustedes ya conocen en español, like muscles, músculos, bones, huesos, and cartilage, cartílago, okay? Then we have the cardiovascular system, which includes the heart and blood vessels, and they pump and transport blood through the body. Blood carries nutrients to and removes waste from the tissue. Entonces, el sistema cardiovascular se enfoca en el corazón, right? Then we have the respiratory system, which includes the lung and the airways, the lungs, los pulmones. También lo acabamos de ver durante el vocabulario. This system performs respiration. We have the nervous system, which consists of the brain, the spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. The nervous system regulates most body activities and sends and receives messages from the sensory organs. Then we have the urinary system, which includes the kidneys, the ureters, the bladder, and the urethra. Okay, all of these also parts that you already know. We have the kidneys, los riñones, los uréteres, la bladder, which is the, oh my God, how would you say bladder? We just said it during the organs as well. La vejiga, that is bladder. And the urethra, la uretra. We have the reproductive system, which is the one that differs completely from male to female, something also that we just mentioned during the introduction. Reproductive system controls reproduction and also heredity. The female reproductive system includes the ovaries, the vagina, the uterine, the fallopian tubes, the uterus, and the mammary glands. So that's for female. And then when we're talking about male reproductive system, we have that it includes the testes, the penis, the prostate gland, vas deferens, and the seminal vesicles. And we just have four more systems. I will just explain them to you right now. We have the blood system. It includes the blood and all of its components. La sangre, that's blood, y todos sus componentes, okay? Todos los componentes que viajan dentro de la sangre que ya conocemos en español son parte del sistema sanguíneo. The lymphatic and immune systems, which includes the lymph, the glands of the lymphatic system, lymphatic vessels, and the non-specific and specific defense of the immune system. Now we have the digestive system, which includes all of the organs that work in digestion and excretion of the waste. So the food that enters into our body, how does it separate from what we need and we don't need, and then how does it get excreted out of the body as waste? We have the endocrine system, which includes the glands that secrete hormones for regulation of many of the body's activities. So endocrine system focuses mostly on hormones. And lastly, we have the sensory system, which covers the eyes and ears of those parts of other systems that are involved in the reaction of the five senses. Sorry. So the sensory system focuses on the five senses and how they work, including all of the rest of the body parts and how they all work together in order to create those five senses. All right. So this is pretty much all the information about all of the organs and systems of the body. Now, for today's activity, I want to separate you guys into pairs. I will stop sharing the screen. I will separate you guys into pairs. So, Angela, you will work with Alejandra, and I will ask you guys to together do an activity. Today's activity, I'll just give you some time, and then you would present that activity. So, first of all, I want you guys to take a little bit more time to investigate about a certain system and organ. The organ that I'm assigning to you is the stomach, okay? So please do some forward investigation about the stomach. If you also have some investigation about the whole digestive system, that will be very useful as well. So try to do that. I'll give you some time to do your investigation. If you have any questions, I'll be here. You can tell me. So please take some time, do that investigations. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que van a hacer? Investigar un poquito más acerca de un órgano en pares. Ustedes dos, Alejandra y Ángela, por favor investiguen un poquito de lo que es el estómago y si encuentran más acerca de todo su sistema, que es el sistema digestivo, entonces hágalo también y póngalo todo en una presentación. Algo cortito, something very brief. You don't have to put a lot of information, okay? We're just beginning. Okay, so take some time to do that, and whenever you're ready, tell me that you are ready, okay?
Maestra, ya estamos listas.
Okay, very good. You can share the screen if you want to. You can present your presentation, and I'll hear you.
¿Comparto la pantalla?
Yes, please.
Okay. ¿Ya se puede ver mi pantalla?
Yes, I can see it.
Ok. Muy bien. Permítame tantito. Okay. My name is Angela and my partner is Alejandra. El órgano que nos tocó es stomach y vamos a presentar un poquito sobre cómo funciona y el sistema digestivo. Okay. General definitions. Tenemos bones. Bone is a living tissue that makes up the body's skeleton. And muscles, a body tissue consisting of long cells that can contract and produce motions. Bones son los huesos que hacen el esqueleto del cuerpo. Los músculos, que son los muscles, que hacen que tengamos movimiento en el cuerpo. Los órganos, organs, a part of the body that perform a specific function. For example, the stomach is an organ, una parte de un cuerpo que tiene una función específica. Por ejemplo, el estómago que nos tocó. Y tenemos los sistemas o los systems, a group of body organs or structures that together perform one or more vital functions. For example, the stomach is a part of the digestive system. Y tenemos, por ejemplo, el sistema digestivo que tiene más de un órgano o estructura que juntos cumplen con una función vital, como el sistema digestivo.
Okay, very good.
El siguiente, pues, ¿qué es el sistema digestivo? What is the digestive system? Pusimos aquí que the organs that take in food and liquids and break them down into substances that the body can use for energy, growth, and tissue repair. Ok, pues como ya sabemos, el sistema digestivo toma la comida y líquidos y los rompe para agarrar la energía, el crecimiento y la reparación del tissue. Ok, Alejandra, ¿sigues?
Ok, ahora tenemos stomach function in the digestive system. The stomach is a muscular hollow organ. It takes in food from the esophagus, gullet, or food pipe, mixes, break it down, and then pass it on the small intestine in small portions. Aquí el estómago es un órgano vacío que toma la comida, la pasa por toma la comida del esófago y de ahí lo mezcla, luego lo disuelve para poder pasarlo en pequeñas porciones al intestino. Sí, ok. Ahora tenemos digestive tract parts. Estas son otras partes del
Sistema digestivo.
del sistema.
Sí, del sistema digestivo.
Que es mouth, boca, pharynx, esófago, stomach, estómago, intestine, and appendix.
Sí,
Okay.
y eso sería todo.
Okay, very good, you guys. So, excellent. So let me just give you some feedback. Very good presentation. Mostly just the necessary information. You kept it very brief. You kept it in the most important parts. You mentioned some extra vocabulary that we have there at the end. The esophagus, what was it? The pharynx, and some other words that maybe we didn't mention during the first section of the class. So very good. Entonces, feedback, muy bien. Lo mantuvieron dentro de lo general, lo más importante. Maybe we could work a little bit more with pronunciation, like words like esophagus. When you have like a PH, you make the F sound in Spanish. Esophagus, pharynx or pharynx, and just try to work on that. We will keep working on that eventually during classes. And that will be pretty much all for today's class. I just will leave you guys with an activity, like homework, like something for you to study for next class. All right, I will share my screen. We will be using another document. It's not a book, it's just a document. It's this one. I will send it to you through this group chat. I will send it to you in a short time. Just wait and I'll send it to you. So we have this is next week's topic. Okay, when we go into classes, remember, maybe next class would be like face to face, and this is the topic that we will cover. It will be history taking. Okay, historia clínica. ¿ok? Lo que ya sabemos hacer en español, recrear o juntar una historia clínica de un paciente nuevo, ahora vamos a aprender a hacerlo en inglés, ¿ok? Este documento nos ayuda a recabar una historia clínica in a general way regarding cardiovascular history, respiratory history, gastrointestinal history, genital urinary history, obstetric, gynecological and sexual history, neurological, psychiatric, pediatric, and pre-operation, ¿ok? Entonces, para todos estos aspectos de una historia clínica, nos va a servir este documento. Por favor, únicamente para la siguiente clase, try to study this one. The common questions on social history, ¿ok? Son como las preguntas más comunes, más generales que se le puede hacer a un paciente. No van especificadas a ninguna enfermedad, a ningún sistema, a ninguna operación futura. Son las más generales que puede haber. Social history, ¿ok? Study that. I will send this document to you. Study these questions. Do you smoke? Have you ever smoked for a significant amount of time? How much do you smoke? How much alcohol do you drink? What do you do for a living? Do you have any pets? Have you traveled anywhere? What sort of housing do you live in? And do you live with anyone else at home? So study these questions in English and try to research the meaning of these questions, but in Spanish, ¿ok? Intenten hacer su investigación. ¿Qué quieren decir estas preguntas? De estas preguntas, ¿qué significan y cuáles son las preguntas que comúnmente hago en español? Sáquenlas de ahí, nada más que ahora en español, ¿ok? Entonces, eso es únicamente lo que tienen que hacer para la siguiente clase. Voy a dejar de compartir la pantalla. En un momento les comparto el documento y that will be all. That will be all for today, guys. Before we go, do you have any questions? Okay, very good. So very nice to meet you guys. I will see you next class with a continuation. We will talk about history taking, historia clínica, and that will be all. Thank you very much. Have a nice week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you.